Hey, I'm shooting this video on Wednesday. What is it? The January the 27th. And it's 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. And we've seen a extremely volatile market this morning. And I want to direct this video specifically to my Discord members. There are now 15,000 of you. And I'm seeing some comments that trouble me. And at the same time, I know that a lot of you haven't had experience in this in the stock market as much as I've had. I'm a retired financial advisor. I was one of the largest financial advisors in the Ameriprise system, and I sold my business in 2005. And I think you need to hear what I have to say and what I think is happening and what I think is going to happen. So hang with me for a second. If you don't know what my Discord is about, we're Best of Us investors, and we meet at our Discord. If you want to find it, you go to bestofusinvestors.com and you give me your name and your email address, and I'll give you the link to the Discord and you can sign up. And we have various levels there, so look into that. I'll be right back with you.
Best of Us Investors presents Carrie Griegmeyer.
So as I said, this morning the market has been extremely volatile, and as I watched what I saw, I had thoughts of the dot-com bubble back in 1999 and 2000. And it reminded me a lot of the overexuberance that people had for stocks and the flood of people coming into the stock market because of the feeling there was easy money. I remember even having a conversation with my neighbor who was a doctor, and a very successful doctor, I might add. And he said, yeah, I've my colleagues and I have kind of put together a club about investing in the dot-com bubble. Or not, he didn't say the bubble, in the dot-com markets. And this internet is taking it crazy. And we're making a lot of money. And I thought to myself, you ought to stick to what you know. You're the best ear, nose, and throat doctor in the United States, and now you're going to throw all your money at something you know nothing about. But I let it go and didn't give it much thought until within 3 months, he said, I'm out of the stock market. I'll never do that again. So you need to recognize that when there is this overexuberance, particularly people getting into stocks through the Spacs, and it struck me, a series of letters just changed from .com to Spac, and I think the results are going to be out the same because they're companies with no value, no history, no profits, and they're being, what kind of disturbs me is they're being promoted by people with all kinds of wrong motives. I saw someone on CNBC, and you would recognize him, and he admitted that he was getting paid $90 million to create this SPAC. I even saw Shaquille O'Neal has his own SPAC. And what they are is people have recognized that there's a bunch of people in the stock market right now chasing whatever. And it's an easy way to make money. We talked about this, about it even has gotten into the YouTuber community where people are offering me $15,000 to promote companies that I don't know if they're even for real or if they are legitimate. I don't know. But you shouldn't be taking a talking head's advice who's getting paid $15,000 to sit down and promote a stock that he really knows nothing about other than that they're paying him $15,000. Now, again, they could be totally legitimate. And Kamish could be totally right in promoting Open Door and getting paid $90 million to do it. But you need to know it. And you need to understand that this sort of thing creates unrealistic exuberance that is going to correct itself. I was asked, is this a crash? No, this isn't a crash. Apple's still a good stock. Amazon's still going to pay you not dividends, but gains. Microsoft and Google are still good. They may go down in price, but it's only because the toilet was flushed and they were pulled down with it. They'll come back, but you need to recognize that if a company has no value, no profits, no history, and you're investing in it, you're not investing in it. You're gambling. And if that's okay, then go for it. But I just remember the birth of day traders, and day traders were basically people who were night workers who during the day traded stocks. I met one of them. I was in New York City in a cab, and I got in the cab, and in a conversation with the cabbie, he told me he was a day trader, and he just worked at night because the stock markets were closed. Well, I'm sure he's now an Uber driver, and he's saying, I'll never do that again. We just know that swings traders and day traders have confused gambling with investing. And you need to recognize that. If you're a gambler, you need to recognize you're playing against the professionals. And you may win for a while, but eventually they're going to take your money away from you because you're playing in their casino. And they know all the rules. They have the cameras. They are watching you. And those cameras see when you put in a trade and then you set a limit or you put in a stop loss. They see it. And so they know where to take it to get your money out of your pocket. So you need to be aware of that. Now, is that to say that this market is a rigged game and you can't win? No, it is not. If you approach it properly, if you recognize that we are in a revolution of sorts that is driven by technology and driven by the events that are happening in our world. And those are the fact that we are suffering through a pandemic, and our countries from wherever you are pumping money into the market and will hold the market up and sustain the upward movement if you're in the right positions. And those are biotech and then 3D printing and robotics, because we've recognized we need to bring our supply chain back to the United States and rebuild our manufacturing facilities, but we will be rebuilding them using modern technology, which includes 3D printing and robotics. You also need to recognize that 5G, and then I want to put -6G, is coming. And it's going to change as a result of the Internet of Everything and what is coming, the Internet of Space. You are going to have satellites up in the sky that is going to deliver you a better internet than you have today. Those are good investments. AMC Theaters, and I don't know a damn thing about what's that other one, gaming stock. I don't know if they're good or not, and you don't either. So don't invest in them. Think through what you're investing in, and you'll be fine. And then there's the electric vehicle. It is a given. And so investing in those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 areas is safe because it is being driven by purpose. It is being driven by change. It is being driven by technology. And that's safe. But invest in what you know, not what some talking head who you don't know their motives and you don't know who's paying them to say what they're saying. And whether that talking head is on CNBC or it's on Fox Business or it's on Bloomberg Business or it's on YouTube. And then do your research, do your due diligence so that you actually, like Sherry and Austin said, I now know why I'm buying what I'm buying because she did her research and she understands her motives for investing and what's driving this market. So, is there going to be a crash? Not in the near future. Not as long as I explained yesterday, we don't have inflation and we have a government that is continuing to prop up the economy with cash. As long as that printing press runs, this market's going to run along with it. But once it changes, it's like I said to you yesterday, if on February the 1st, there was no pandemic and there was no printing press pumping money, this market would go down because there would be less money chasing more stocks. That's just like when you go into the grocery store and they don't have any but a few apples. The price of those apples is going to go up. Well, that's where we are now. There's so damn much cash chasing so few stocks. But as soon as there isn't the cash to buy the stocks, the price of the stocks are going to go down. Okay? And as I said in the video, when you start booking vacations and your money is going to other things than the stock market will have a correction. And that's okay. We'll just flush out the weak. It's culling the herd. It will happen. So, to my Discord members, to my tribe members of Bust of Us investors, don't get excited about this. I went in, I saw some stocks that I believe in that were down 10% today. I just increased my position. And within several hours, the red turned to green. So use these to your advantage. But again, know what you're buying and you'll be fine. Okay? We are in the next 10 years are going to deliver more change than you saw in the preceding 100. Well, you didn't see it. Than the world saw in the preceding 100 years. There is going to be tremendous opportunities for you to become wealthy. But you need to do, number one, make good, sound investment decisions. Number two, keep more of what you make by understanding your tax code. And number three, set a goal to create family wealth. Our government here in the United States will allow me and Nita to pass on $24 million to our heirs. So that's our goal. That's why we do this, to make a difference in the world. And I hope I did that for you today. So stay with me. I'll have another video tomorrow. And let's get rich together, okay?